Betrayal. Revenge. And rock bottom, my wife's affair almost broke me. The day my life shattered is etched into my memory with agonizing clarity. It started like any other. But before the sunset, a truth so brutal would unravel everything I thought I knew. After 11 years of marriage, 2 beautiful children, and a life built on what I believed was unwavering love, my wife had been systematically dismantling our world, piece by agonizing piece. With an 8-month affair, little did she know, I had been collecting the damning evidence, a digital tapestry of her betrayal woven behind my back. I waited for her that night, a volcano of rage and heartbreak simmering beneath a facade of composure. She walked through the door, radiating the afterglow of her lover's embrace, oblivious to the storm brewing within our home. As she saw me sitting at the table, the air instantly thickened with a silent, palpable tension. The color drained from her face. "You're scaring me," she stammered, her voice a trembling whisper. "What is this about?" My voice, cold and controlled, sliced through the uneasy silence. "I'm not here to discuss your infidelity. I know everything." The words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of her deception. I slid a folder across the table, the metallic glint of my wedding ring resting on top like a tombstone, marking the death of our marriage. "I'm here to sort out our separation and divorce." The floodgates opened. Tears streamed down her face as she launched into a desperate tirade of apologies and pleas. The usual pathetic performance. But I was beyond empathy, hardened by the months of lies and deceit. "You hurt me worse than I ever imagined possible," I spat. "And you slept with other men because you love me so much." The next few hours were a blur of accusations, denials, and heartbroken sobs. Finally, I issued an ultimatum, my voice laced with a venom I never knew I possessed. "Sign the separation agreement," I hissed, "or I will expose your affair to everyone we know." Today, a low blow, perhaps, knowing it was signed under duress. But in that moment, all I craved was an end to the agonizing charade. I told her I would not read or talk to her until tomorrow afternoon. The next day brought a fresh wave of desperation. She begged for another chance, promising to do anything to win back my trust. Against my better judgment, a flicker of weakness ignited within me. "I will file on Monday," I announced. "And you have 90 days to convince me that divorce is a mistake." Why I offered that lifeline, I still don't fully understand. Maybe a sliver of hope remained, buried beneath the mountain of pain, driven by a twisted need for retribution. I devised a list, a series of grueling tasks designed to make her understand the depth of her betrayal. It was a cruel game, I admit it now, but I was operating from a place of profound pain and rage. Perfect compliance is no guarantee. I warned her. "My trust in you is below zero. You killed what we had." The list included full access to her social media, individual counseling with complete transparency, and a brutal, unfiltered confession detailing every aspect of her affair. Her initial resistance crumbled when I threatened to reveal her secret to her lover's wife. The ultimate consequence, I would replicate her betrayal. I told her I would have an affair for 3 months, lie to her face, and form a deep emotional relationship with another woman, so she would know what she asked me to forgive. I would tell her everything truthfully. Number 7, as I called it, was the most twisted item on the list. For 3 months, I would engage in elaborate charades, creating the illusion of infidelity. I installed Tinder, strategically letting her catch glimpses of it. I pretended to be secretly texting, disappeared for nights, and even booked weekend getaways. But the truth was far more pathetic. I spent those nights alone in hotel rooms, drowning in sorrow and self-loathing, crippled by the sheer act of pretending to be the kind of monster she so easily became. My wife was frantic, spiraling into a vortex of guilt and fear, and I, shamefully, reveled in her torment. Yet, beneath the surface of my carefully constructed revenge, a horrifying realization began to dawn. I hated it. Pretending to be unfaithful, even without the actual act, was unbearable. How could she have done this with such ease? This realization has made it impossible to see her in the same light. I see her as a monster, and I just can't get past this. We are now in marriage counseling, navigating a minefield of emotions and shattered trust. Some days are better than others, The divorce papers remain unsigned. A constant reminder of the precipice we stand on. For now. She is very AP? But I can't shake this image of her. The monster I discovered lurking beneath the surface of the woman I thought I knew. Is there any way for me to move past seeing her like this? I have forgiven the rest, but I just can't get past this. My wife and I stayed up all night after I showed her this post. We know our chances of success are very low, and that it will probably take many years before. But we both agreed this morning that we are committed to trying. To everyone who spoke to me. It's a totally different thing to be in the middle of something like this compared to looking at it from the outside. Nothing is clear or easy. The emotions are overwhelming. And even deciding to get up in the morning. To face a new day. If I were to try to explain how hard it is to think clearly and make good choices, I would give you this analogy. You can see the horizon in all directions. You know who you are and where you want to go. Then imagine being yanked from the top of the mountain. Sealed. You are almost passing out. Now you can barely think. And you want to throw up more than anything. This is the closest I can get to explaining the trauma my brain EXP. Of course, I will make some bad choices in such a state. I think everyone would make bad choices in this. To those who were telling us we were hurting our children, as my youngest put, it's my family too. They have more faith in us than we have. We have been very careful to let them know we will not accept them choosing. As individuals, they accept that this might not be possible to fix. But they have told us that they will be disappointed if we give up without trying proper. The first few months were very stressful. But after things calm down, they are very grateful for being allowed to be involved. Some other friends are in situations where their families are breaking up. Stop and their friends feel like they are mushroom. It seems. And I just hope we don't disappoint them too much. To those who thought I was psychotic and wondered how I could be so hard and torture my wife, while offering reconciliation. I have no intention of offering anything. I was determined to just end it as soon as possible. I was still determined to do so when she came back the next day when she offered to do anything, and begged me to give her a chance. At that point, I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave. I felt weak. I was ashamed of myself. I was angry. In my wildest dreams, I did not expect her to tell our kids' families. And I definitely didn't expect her to stand by me and my pretend revenge affair. Truth be told, I wanted her to give up. I was convinced that her suffering would make me feel better. I can no longer deny that she was being sincere. Have been searching for some reason to give up and leave or to make her give up and leave. I've been incredibly cruel at times. She doesn't try to excuse herself. She just takes. She told me she has never been afraid of me. I am not sure I believe that. She tells me she knows I would never physically attack or hurt her. I am not so sure of myself. I hope I never. I am terrified I might permanently injure or kill someone. To those who asked about her reasons for doing it, our life was too safe and comfortable. It hit her hard after her best friend died. To blow up her ass? She feels kind now and struggles badly. We have learned that this was a pattern with. He had been cheating on his wife with 2 to 3 women at the time, since before they started dating. We even found out he has 2 illegitimate. As for me, I have not really committed to reconciliation fully. I am a very hard person. I managed to convince myself that if my wife suffered, I would be okay with just walking away if I found a good enough reason to give up. I was wrong. I've been searching for reasons to not get close to her again. I was scared of letting her get close and getting hurt again. This has prevented us from making any real progress in recon. Several people ask me if I am just as good at giving out love as I am at punished. Booty, I'm working on it now. I have forgiven her. Strong enough to overcome my love for her so I could leave. I will change that, make a real, genuine effort to recon. If we fail, we fail. But I will give it my very best try from here on in. Even if I risk getting hurt again. Human and made some bad choices. As things are now, I'm in charge of the consequences for her bad choices. I thought about this a lot. I also make mistakes. And I am very cruel to her at times. Me punishing her has driven me literally mad with hatred and anger. Sometimes I have no control. She made some bad choices and lost control. As I am still doing. We are just human, both of us. I need to work on ways to move past this together. I will get off my high horse and try to be 50% of this relationship and to be 50% of the effort. As for my wife the day after D-Day, There was nowhere to hide, no forgiveness. Nothing. The Fantas. She told me she is grateful for my iron. Smack some sense into her. Thank you so much for not letting her off the hook and pushing through. She is punishing herself harder than I ever did. But she didn't do it at the time because she felt she would get off too easily. I found out that she has been harming herself since D. Pinch yourself with plays. I mean the entire back side of her leg is shades of purple. Of course. Not helpful. We have agreed to focus on her forgiving herself. In a way. Now that she just wants to punish herself, she has lost all the traits that I fell in love with. In the first. Her well thought out opinions. etc. I don't think it's helpful for me redeveloping any feelings towards her, when her punishing herself suppresses the very things I loved about her. The reasons I got together with her and married her in the first place. So all in. We have made some progress thanks to all the helpful strangers on the internet. We have a long way to go. But we have identified some big hurdles to get past. We actually slept in the same bed for the first time since. It was nice to sleep next to her again. I still love her. And I kind of hate myself. But then I think about my kids and it gives me strength to keep. We will try to create something new since the old relationship is gone at this point. Playa put my wife through hell and became a personal mental torture for 9 months, until I snapped out of it not too long ago. I was looking for any excuse during all those months to not fully commit to reconciliation. My wife was the only one who put in 100% after D-Day. I tried so many ways to convince myself that the only right thing to do was to leave her. But I just couldn't. My cruelty, on top of her infidel play, caused great damage to both of us emotion. I finally came to my senses and understood what I needed to do to start healing both of us. I realized where I was weak and needed to improve. I know our chances are low. But now I'm afraid I have caused too much damage to get past. My wife feels that she doesn't deserve love and consideration whenever I do something for her. She usually ends up crying. The last few weeks we have made a lot of progress. And things on the surface seem to be improving. For today, I found my wife hiding and crying alone. She was appreciative and smiling in the morning. It just took all my motivation away. Play like popping a balloon. I feel totally I don't feel anything other than exhausted and empty. Totally. Now I'm in bed. And I don't even know how to get back up. I don't know how to find any energy to get moving. I can't even interact with my children properly. I just feel. So we are separate. We were doing well on reconciliation. My wife did pretty much everything right from her. She struggles with forgiving herself. Off basically. On the other hand, I managed to suppress my feelings for a while. And this is a problem. My feelings were still boiling. Emasculation. Betrayal. Lies, humiliation. All boiling right under the surface. As a result, I reverted back to being mean, vindictive. And I don't want to be that guy anymore. So we have separated to get some space. We will try to get back to trying reconciliation later for the sake of the kids. Sometimes it's not possible to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I am not hopeful that we will make it in the end. Now on to the next story. What's the temperature together, but she cheated on me, so I ghosted her and lived my best life. I'm sharing my story. Been with my soon-to-be ex-wife 28. Set alarm for 7 years. But we did have lots of great plans for future, and we never disagree on any future blueprints. Cancel direction we wanted to go during 7 years of our relationship. She came back home after 2 weeks of end. Stopped training and I found out. She started chatting a lot with this guy. I was never a jealous person, and I know that she has always been surrounded with guys. Due to our job situation, majority of workers in our industry are. But I realized she started texting with his personal a lot. She kept reassuring me that's the guy I don't have to worry about. He's just a friend that happens to be, they have lots of common topic to chat about. She said she has no problem to stop talking to this guy again if I don't feel comfortable. But I knew they were going to training again in end of March. I know it's impossible. I asked her if she's happy in this marriage or even before this event. I would constantly check on her to see if there's anything I could improve or just see if she's doing okay in this marriage. I never got any kind of negative feedback. Fast forward to end of March, she was leaving to somewhere else for her job training. For her new job again for a month. In first couple days she was in training, everything was fine, and the interactions between us was normal. After first week we started fighting a lot. Part of me, I have to admit, it was my fault cause I was going through some of the stuff in my life, and I was being pretty emotional. But I also started feeling like she started becoming distant. and having some strange ideas about future that doesn't even sound like things she would say. And that makes me started feeling weird. And we barely argue over anything. I can't even remember when was our last really big fight was before April. I felt bad for having to argue with her over things during her training, because I know how important it was. And I knew for the fact that he was pursuing her. Finally, she brought up that she needs some space and time to think about our relationship and future. And she told me she still loves me, but it's not the same anymore. I was in lots of confusion, but I respected her and gave her some time cause at the moment. I didn't really know what's going on. Shortly after a couple days, she brought up divorce over my world call. And at that moment I still had no idea what was going on, but I had a gut feeling. She might be leaving with a person new. She wouldn't even give me a hug at the airport after a month and have not seen each other. She came home and didn't even unpack her luggage. The first night she came home, she looked into my eyes and straight told me she wants out. She wants divorce and she doesn't love me anymore. That first night was hard and I was hurt so much, but I was holding on the hope. Maybe I disappointed her during my emotional waves and her arguments, so I was trying to sort things out. She claimed that she wants to clean the house for me and let's create a nice memory. For the last couple days just before she leaves. Lots of stuff and holding back from me. I found out before she came back she was already in relationship, signed the lease with the guy to move in together. At this moment it was only a month and a half from she left home in the end of March. And she said to the guy she's willing to give up everything for him to start all over again. I feel really bad till this day to go over her phone, because I have never done such a thing in our relationship and I felt that I have crossed the. But at the moment I decided to take screenshots of their conversations and pretended nothing happened just to see how far she would push for all these lies. The rest of the days I kept asking her questions related to her and this person, and of course, I never got any truthful answers. I got irritated enough I started questioning her and got mad. She started blaming me on my issues and that's why we can never be together. She is just lying until very last moment, even we were having some heated arguments. She then decided to leave that night, and the first thing after she left, I sent her all the screenshots I had and told I already knew everything, it was just I was. She said they only started their relationship after she brought up divorce, so it's not cheating. Waiting for right moment. 'Cause I'm very controlling and abusive. One of the hardest things to see in my life. I don't understand how she could have changed in such short period of time, and that until this day still leaves me with. Just disappear like that. Shortly after she moved out I hired a lawyer and filed for divorce. She said she doesn't want the bags I bought her. I don't really want to make this decision, but at the same time I can't afford her to change her mind. So I did that right away and already got the paperwork signed back. Go back to me. It has been 2 months since the day she told me she wants to divorce. I'm doing a lot better now, and I'm trying to focus on myself for a new life, and to be a better person. I know I'm not perfect, and we didn't have a perfect relationship. But to run away from a marriage, go into relationship, and now living together with this person in the time span, for less than 2 months. I think the things hurt me the most was all the memories we have. Turn off all the things we built together and plans we had for future. Change in such a short period of time because she met a person and everything went down the drain. Recipe for failure. As I said, there was something doesn't make any sense at the end of marriage. And you literally get everything. That means she feels you deserve it and that she's guilty. It's an acknowledgement that she herself knows you're not to blame even if she says so. Final update. Okay, I know it's not exactly 6 months from what I posted, but it has been almost 6 months since the day I thought my world collapsed. Our official marriage termination date is coming up, so I thought I would share some experiences on this journey of recovery. I've been really focused on myself and thriving in my life. Ever since this happened, I've been traveling around the world. Hawaii, Amsterdam, Vietnam, Taiwan, Australia, Norway. A place that I don't know where yet. I don't have to worry about where I go or what I'm doing to do with my career. I've been hitting the gym 5 times a week, also eating well. I've been looking for myself and trying to build a whole new life without letting my old life and memories trap me in the past. Do I miss her from time to time? Do I still think about what happened or the things and dreams we had? Yes, I still do. I remember when I was in Oslo, where we always wanted to go. I took a picture, and out of nowhere I thought of her. I didn't feel sad, it was just a weird moment that reminded me of her. First 2 months from the moment she told me she wanted to divorce that she came home, I found out she was already in relationship with this person. Put on my birthday in June, I told myself it's the first day of my new life, and I promised myself 1 year from that day, looking back, I'll make myself It has gotten a lot better, and less frequently I would think about everything in my mind. It took me a while to forgive myself, and I even realized I have forgiven her or even AP as well. I don't feel hate or anger towards them anymore. Blows up. But I realized how unhealthy that was, and it was only holding me back from becoming a better person. I'm not perfect, and there were things I could have done better in that relationship. I learned from that lesson and move on. Bothers me anymore. I feel somewhat normal now. I still don't know what future holds or what is going to be my new life goal yet. I know I'm already blessed with this case that I still have my house. Lots of things that I want to do. I've gone out with a couple girls, but as of now I think keeping myself single for a while is healthier for me until I meet the right person, and I'm sure I'll know. Someone once told me this might seem to be the worst thing ever happened in your life at the moment, but it could lead to something end up being most wonderful. I was reflecting everything that has happened after. After she left emotionally, I wasn't in a great place, but looking back, everything has happened ever since was actually all positive and bringing my life to a better direction. I hope this brings all of you some positivity, as we all need it to move on. If you will, the best revenge is a life well lived. Maybe one day she will see how you are doing. Should not be your goal ever, but it would be nice. One thing is bugging me regarding her wanting to be divorced as soon as possible, to remarry again. In the back of my mind I'm thinking she may be pregnant. Oh well. Whatever, not your problem anymore. Keep up the good life, you are doing great. So, Reddit. After hearing my story, my descent into darkness, and this desperate attempt at reconciliation, tell me honestly, did I handle the situation in the best way possible? Was I right to try and make her feel the pain she inflicted? Or should I have simply walked away? Was I justified in trying to reconcile it all after everything? I'm grappling with so much doubt and confusion and need some unbiased opinions. I need to know if I'm a fool for trying to save something that may be irrevocably broken, and if what I did was right. Give me your thoughts. No holds barred. I am seeking guidance on how I was, or should have been, dealing with a situation as sensitive as this.